short-range forecast for down-east coastal Maine from Steuben to Eastport, including rich ice. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then mostly cloudy with patchy drizzle after midnight. Areas of fog after midnight. Lows in the mid-30s. Southeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, cloudy. Patchy drizzle. Areas of fog in the morning, then patchy fog in the afternoon. Highs in the mid-40s. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, patchy drizzle in the evening. Cloudy with a chance of rain. Patchy fog. Lows in the mid-30s. Southeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, patchy fog in the morning. Rain likely. Highs in the mid-40s. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 70%. Friday night, mostly cloudy. Rain likely, mainly in the evening. Lows in the lower 30s. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain 70%. Saturday, partly sunny with a slight chance of rain in the morning, then mostly sunny in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 40s. Chance of rain 20%. Here are the 5 p.m. buoy observations, reported southwest to northeast. At Boston, 16 nautical miles east of, the wind was east, at 10 knots. The temperature was 38 degrees. The sea temperature was 40 degrees. At 12 nautical miles southeast of Portland, the wind was east, at 10 knots. The temperature was 36 degrees. The sea temperature was 40 degrees. At Central Maine Shelf, the wind was east, at 10 knots. The temperature was 36 degrees. The wave height was 5 feet, and the period was 11 seconds. At Matunicus Rock, the wind was northeast, at 6 knots. The temperature was 38 degrees. At West Penobscot Bay, the wind was north, at 4 knots. The temperature was 36 degrees. The wave height was 2 feet, and the period was 11 seconds. At Mount Desert Rock, the wind was northeast, at 12 knots. The temperature was 39 degrees. At Eastern Maine Shelf, the wind was east, at 10 knots. The temperature was 40 degrees. The wave height was 5 feet, and the period was 11 seconds. At Jonesport, the wind was northeast, at 16 knots. The sea temperature was 40 degrees. At George's Bank, the wind was northeast, at 16 knots. The temperature was 40 degrees. The sea temperature was 39 degrees. Tide information. Here is the latest tide information for Bar Harbor. The next low tide is at 8:57 p.m. The next high tide is at 3:05 a.m. The following low tide is at 9:30 a.m. Thursday. The following high tide is at 3:39 p.m. Thursday. Here is the latest tide information for Stonington. The next low tide is at 9:03 p.m. The next high tide is at 3:13 a.m. The following low tide is at 9:36 a.m. Thursday. The following high tide is at 3:47 p.m. Thursday. Tide information. Here is the latest tide information for Millbridge. The next low tide is at 9:30 p.m. The next high tide is at 3:17 a.m. The following low tide is at 10:04 a.m. Thursday. The following high tide is at 3:51 p.m. Thursday. Here is the latest tide information for Cutler. The next low tide is at 9:04 p.m. The next high tide is at 3:12 a.m. The following low tide is at 9:33 a.m. Thursday. The following high tide is at 3:41 p.m. Thursday. Here is the latest tide information for Eastport. The next low tide is at 9:20 p.m. The next high tide is at 3:23 a.m. The following low tide is at... Here is the latest tide information for Gossett Island. The next low tide is at 9:37 p.m. The next high tide is at 3:36 a.m. The following low tide is at 10:04 a.m. Thursday. The following high tide is at 4:03 p.m. Thursday. Here is the forecast for coastal waters from Eastport to Scooty Point out 25 nautical miles. Small craft advisory in effect through Thursday evening. Tonight, east winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southeast after midnight. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wave detail, south 4 feet at 9 seconds and east 2 feet at 5 seconds. Areas of fog after midnight. Patchy drizzle 8. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles after midnight. Thursday, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots, increasing to 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Wave detail, southeast 5 feet at 11 seconds and east 1 foot at 5 seconds. Patchy drizzle. Areas of fog in the morning. Patchy fog in the afternoon. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Thursday night, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wave detail, northwest 4 feet at 5 seconds and south 4 feet at 10 seconds. Saturday night, west winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday, west winds 20 to 25 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday night, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Monday, west winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming south in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 4 feet. A chance of snow and rain in the afternoon. Monday night, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Snow likely in the evening. Rain likely. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Here is the forecast for coastal waters from Stony Point to Stonington out 25 nautical miles. Small craft advisory in effect from Thursday evening. Tonight, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wave detail, southeast 4 feet at 9 seconds and east 2 feet at 5 seconds. Areas of fog after midnight. Patchy drizzle late. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles after midnight. Thursday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Wave detail, southeast 5 feet at 11 seconds and east 2 feet at 5 seconds. Patchy drizzle. Areas of fog in the morning. Patchy fog in the afternoon. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Thursday night, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Seas 5 to 6 feet. Wave detail, southeast 5 feet at 11 seconds and east 1 foot at 5 seconds. Patchy drizzle in the evening. A chance of rain. Patchy fog. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Friday, east winds around 10 knots, becoming northeast with gusts up to 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Wave detail, southeast 5 feet at 11 seconds. Patchy fog in the morning. Rain. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Friday night, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wave detail, southeast 5 feet at 10 seconds and northwest 4 feet at 4 seconds. Rain likely, mainly in the evening. Saturday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wave detail, northwest 4 feet at 4 seconds and southeast 4 feet at 10 seconds. Saturday night, west winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday, northwest winds 20 to 25 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday night, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Monday, west winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming south in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Snow and rain likely in the afternoon with visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Monday night, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Rain and snow likely in the evening, then rain likely after midnight. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles in the evening. Here is the forecast for the intercoastal waterway from Stony Point to Stonington. Tonight, southeast winds around 5 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Wave detail, southeast 3 feet at 10 seconds and east 2 feet at 5 seconds. Patchy drizzle. Gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet.
There we go.
Wave detail, southeast 3 feet at 11 seconds and east 1 foot at 5 seconds. Patchy drizzle. Areas of fog in the morning. Patchy fog in the afternoon. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Thursday night, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Wave detail, southeast 4 feet at 11 seconds and east 1 foot at 4 seconds. Patchy drizzle in the evening. A chance of rain. Patchy fog. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. 5 to 10 knots, becoming northeast with gusts stands at state. Southeast 3 feet at 11 seconds and southeast 1 foot at 5 seconds. Patchy fog in the morning.
It's coming in and out.
lost. Well, there you have it. Let's get on my laptop here. I need to figure out what station that was, because that is a Caribou main station from Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm gonna assume that's a station maybe from Bar Harbor is what it sounded like, because usually offices will start title information with where it originates from. What the fuck am I doing? There we go. Let's see what comes up. Well, it's not KEC 93. Could it be Ellsworth? No, that's the same one. I'm very intrigued now. Let's look up Caribou, NWS Caribou, NOAA weather radio stations. List of Maine and New Hampshire weather radio stations. Okay, here we go here. So it is not WNG Marine only. Could be WNG543. Could be Milo. I couldn't get a station ID. It's not Sugarloaf. And it's not KZZ40. Let's see where the Jonesboro, Maine covers. It is not Bar Harbor, I can tell you that for a fact, so it is more than likely Milo? No, that's not it either. Alright. Well, given that all I heard was marine things, I'm gonna preliminarily guess that I just received WNG543 out of Jonesboro, Maine. Let's see if it came back. It did come back. So that was kind of the partial broadcast cycle, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that is Jonesboro. So there you go.